and wash myself down with a little bit of coffee, McDonald's coffee, whatever. Look, I just need some coffee. So today's subject, let's get onto this, right? So today's subject is regarding the Bitcoin balance on exchange. It is kind of an indicator a lot of people use in order to understand that, you know, whether the market's going to dump heavy or whether the market's going to pump heavy. But I do want to get into the deep end of it and kind of talk about certain things, and especially a theory that I have, which I've noticed for the past years, right? It's over and over again. It's nothing new. But yes, of course, when people see the Bitcoin balance on exchange drop, some levels of panic can set in, but we need to understand everything for what it is before we start panicking, and things will make sense. So let me have a sip of this, wash my mouth a little bit, and then let's carry on, right? Oh, hot. Right, so let's talk about this. I want to take you back in time a little bit. All right, so to kind of build the context before we answer the Bitcoin balance on exchange becoming low, is it something we should be concerned about or not? Right, so let's go back to history. Right, let's go back to the beginning. So what you need to understand is during the salam my brother, I see Faisal here, salam my brother. During the early days of when Bitcoin was created, it was only Bitcoin, obviously. We've talked about this many times. And during that time, there was a massive supply, because obviously without supply, you can't just list it on an exchange. So whatever type of exchanges we had, right, you know, OTC trade centers or whatever, it was all about how many Bitcoin you got and how many do you want. So there was sufficient supply, because when you were mining in the beginning stages, you're getting 50 Bitcoin every 10 minutes, right? That then obviously changed to about 25 every 10 minutes. So every 4 years after the block halvening, we had that. It became 25. And then after 25, it became like 12. Right, and then from 12 and a half, from 12 and a half it became 6 and a quarter, and you know, 3 point whatever. So as you can see, it halves. Literally, the supply that is coming out every 10 minutes is half the supply of what it was 4 years ago. That's what you need to understand. So because that is happening, there is less and less Bitcoin, and it's part of the design. By the way, it was designed by Satoshi to do it exactly that way, right? So when we see the balance, like when we go back to the beginning of when the exchanges or when, you know, charts started to exist. So the earliest charts we have are probably from 2010. Some of them are from 2010, 2011. And then the majority of the charts you'll find they're from like 2013, 2014. So even some of these, they haven't tracked it, right? These companies are quite fresh. So because look, crypto's new, right? Let's be honest about it. It's 14 years old, 15 years old, almost 15 years old, right? So based on that, you have to understand, basically what all of this means for us, right? So there was a lot of supply. So of course, when you calculate the lot of supply and very few exchanges, right, because most of the trading was done peer-to-peer, like person to person, right? And there are some super guys out there who, you know, had millions of coins in their wallets, and they were literally giving it away for free in order for people to adopt it. Can you see? I mean, this is what people were doing, because they had millions of coins. Getting 50 coins every 10 minutes. When you start mining, you mine for a day or two, boom, you've got, you know, thousands of coins, right? It doesn't make a week and you've got thousands and thousands of coins. And that's what happens. So we had a lot of supply. But of course, over time, as we progress and the supply is reduced, sorry, I'm getting a lot of notifications. I'm tempted to just switch my volume off so I don't hear it, because it's quite annoying. Basically all the notifications that's happening right now is whatever's happening in the market. So it's crypto related, believe me, it's crypto related. Nothing important that I need to share. But so the supply is like, you know, we have a lot of supply, and that supply over time, as we receive less and less coin, technically becomes less and less, right? That's part of the design. Of course, a lot of people are holding for last 3, 4 years, 5 years, whatever. So those guys, if they don't intend to sell it, they're not going to put it back into the exchange. Do you know what I mean? So yes, again, the supply drops, right? But also there's another thing that happens that you have to understand, right? Futures, right? Futures. So if you're trading on Bitcoin futures legally, you know, legally and practically, if you've done some futures, right, whatever price you promise to pay, right, crypto futures, whatever price you promise to pay, that coin has to be moved off the exchange and kept there for you to buy at that price that you promised. Futures isn't just like, oh, random. It's not paper money. We're not trading paper here. If you've made a promise and you want to keep your promise, right, then that Bitcoin has to be handed over to you at that price. That's how futures works. However, if you don't buy it, that's a different story, right? If you don't buy it, then they can liquidate it, do whatever. So it can automatically show up again. So when you look at the market, think about the futures as well. Options, right? Same story. Futures, options. I mean, futures, probably options is more accurate, right? So options, you have the option to buy, and the exchange has to sell it to you if you decide to buy. So you, as a buyer, you have the option to buy or sell for profit and take whatever you made the difference and get out right with the difference. You have that option, but the exchange is obliged to give it to you at that price because that's the price you locked in. Makes sense, right? Those are the things you also have to understand. So they can't keep that available for everybody. That can't be balanced on exchange. That's got to go away. So if you go and look at that particular data, you'll see how many options there are. So calculate how many BTCs there are, right? So I'm not going to just go on wallets and people buying, because believe it or not, I am not seeing any large quantity big orders or big buys. All I have seen, and I've gone through the charts a little bit, right? I've been kind of busy driving and this and that. I've just managed to stop and go to a McDonald's and literally get myself a coffee, so I thought I'd do this, right? McDonald's is just over there. But the point I'm making here is, and this video is not going to be a long one, guys, so please do understand. By the way, my name is Sham. This is 0x5. The truth is always out there. I am kind of rushing this video. I do have an appointment to go to, but I felt the need that I need to answer one of our brothers' question, who asked me on Discord. He said, Bitcoin's going, can you talk about it? So I said, yeah, you know what, I'll talk about it. Hence why I'm here right now. If you are on the live, please do say hi. Don't be shy. If you are here for the first time, right, and you like the kind of content that I do, maybe you've watched this video, maybe one or two others. If you like the content that I do, I would appreciate if you can hit that subscribe. But even if you don't, it's not a problem. I don't, you know, if you don't want to subscribe, you don't want to subscribe, right? But it will be a good great favor if you can actually smash that like button, so at least the videos can go out and the algorithm can pick it up and other people can find it. Do you know what I mean, right? I see Desi Track, also my brother. Assalamu alaikum. So let's get into this, right? I'm blitzing through this, right? So what you have to understand is we need to factor in, because I'm all about macro stuff, right? You got to factor in what the history was, how many coins we had versus how many coins we have now. You got to also understand how many coins were being printed at that time versus how many coins being printed now. And then the number of hodlers, options, futures, more options, I would say. So more to do with options. How many of those contracts are open right now? That's very important, all right? And all of these things impact the balance on exchange. Does that make sense? But there's one other thing that could potentially be balance on exchange, and this is a theory I have. I cannot confirm because I have never done one like this, so I wouldn't know. I'm not an institutional trader, but I have this crazy theory that's going to blow your mind, right? So if an institutional investor decides to buy on Binance or Coinbase as an institutional investor and pays the exchange to be the legal guardian, so to hold, they can legally hold it, and that can also impact. So it's still on the exchange, but because it's not being tracked anymore, because it's reserved for somebody else, that could move away. So that's something else as well. You never know. Binance or maybe Coinbase Pro, you never know who it is, could be holding some of Michael Saylor's coins or some other big institution coins. We don't know. So that's just a theory I have, right? Maybe a fucking crazy theory, but I have a theory, and I'm like, well, that's something they won't show as well. So you got to understand all of these things. Now, of course, what does it all mean, right? Balance goes up or balance goes down. What does it mean? So, for example, in January 2023 or 24, I can't tell you. I can't tell you off the top of my head, but I can look at it. So, give me a second. I'm just going to quickly look at this because I think it's a quite important thing to talk about, and I'm going to give you the actual average, like, you know, ish time, because I'm just looking at a random chart. Okay, so let me just have a look at this. When was it? So yeah, I think it was about January 2024. January 2023. January 2023, we saw a massive amount of Bitcoin coming back to the exchange. We saw Bitcoin coming back to the exchange. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about mining and this and that, because mining, I already explained, every 10 minutes we get so and so many coins. That doesn't matter. But we saw January a lot of Bitcoins coming, and of course, when we saw that, we ended up seeing a big dump, right? And now we're seeing Bitcoin leaving. In fact, in the last 30 days, what I can track so far was around 80,000 Bitcoin left. But then I'm going to go back to January 2023. January 2023, we had 2.7 million Bitcoin all over the exchanges, right? That was the balance on exchange. So that was what we had. Well, currently we have 2.3. Is it 2.3? Let me just tell you. Balance on exchange. Yeah, 2.3 mil. So around basically 400k, 400,000 Bitcoin have vanished since 2023 January. That's a long time for those to actually move into people's wallets. You know, probably Elon Musk, probably whatever. I'm just taking random names. I don't mean anything here, but point is it took us since January 2024 to almost December 2023, January 2023 to almost December 2024. Technically, almost 2 years, right? It's almost 2 years. It will definitely be 2 years in January 2025. Almost 2 years to move 400,000 BTC, right? However, last 30 days, 80,000 has left. All right, fine. It's just a number. It doesn't really matter. But as I said, factor in those things as well. That options, they're going to hold it for them. If private investors are buying and leaving it on the exchange, but in their private OTC accounts, that's also moved away. So where there's a lot of BTC that we as normal members of the public may not be able to just track on a random software or app, right? Because the exchanges are holding it in a whole different wallet. So technically it's not in the exchange. However, the exchanges are still guardians. They're holding it. Do you know what I mean, right? So do understand all of these things. Now, any one of these OTC buyers, if they're a large OTC buyer on Binance or Coinbase Pro or whatever, they could decide to come and sell it. Well, what's going to happen? They're going to impact the price. Do you know what I mean? So understand all of these things, right? So we have to take things with a pinch of salt. But ultimately, what I said right in the beginning, we are going to see over time, as we progress, as more and more people buy Bitcoin or whatever, right? Doesn't matter. I would say in 5 years' time, a decade's time, we are going to see less and less Bitcoin available in the exchanges, right? That's because the demand will be there. When people have, well, like people already have seen, we're at 99,000, almost $100,000, right? When people have seen these prices, a lot of people, the FOMO kicked in. So people want to buy, and a lot of people are buying right now. So this is some recent, a couple of guys, like last couple of days I've been talking to, they're buying now for another 5 years. So they don't care what the price is. They're like, dude, we're not going to wait for the bottom. We don't give a damn. Of course, what you're saying with dollar cost average engine that time, or we come back in with another stash of cash. But right now, we want to buy, even if it's 100 grand, we want to buy XYZ. We've got disposable income that we want to invest. We're going to put it in there and we're going to wait for it for another 5 years. Think about that. These are guys who are buying at 100k, but their plan is not today. Their plan is 5 years down the line. Their plan is they want to exit when it's 500 grand. It's not a bad deal. It's a good investment. You know, if they can hold and they can manage it, right, and they're okay for Bitcoin price to drop or go to the bottom or bear market to come, but they're okay to hold it, their plan is solid because they're saying, we're going to put it in at 100k, we're going to forex our money. It's better than any business, any property, any yield we're going to look at, basically, any kind of other investment we're going to do. So compared to that, we've done the maths. And it took us a long time for BTC to, you know, until BTC got to 100k for us to make that decision. But we feel it's the right decision. So they kind of asked me, like, what do you think? I said, well, your decision's fine. It's actually solid. If that's what you're going to do, if that's a risk you're willing to take, right? Because you can also, you have to understand that BTC could go to zero. That's something I always warn people. They're like, yep, we completely understand. But any business that I invest into could also go to zero, you know? And it's true, right? So they could invest in a building, a property, a brick and mortar, whatever. You might have some weather, whatever, and that also could be completely destroyed, right? Of course, you would have some sort of insurances. That's a different story. But the point is any business may also fail. So that's how they're treating. They're like, this is an investment. This is a building. Maybe it's not brick and mortar, but that's the investment we're making. And we feel that in 5 years' time, BTC, if it's already proved what it can do, we feel it might actually be worth 500k, maybe even a mil a coin. So that's the whole psychology. Makes sense. Makes sense. Do you know what I mean? So, of course, as I said, over time, we are going to see less and less. There are people out there who are even buying now in order to sell 5 years down the line. So that's happening as well. So yes, over time we are going to see less and less, but we shouldn't worry too much about that. We have to look at the macro stuff. We have to go back in time and understand the whole story, the whole context of where we got to and where we're getting to. So every cycle, technically, every cycle, the top of the cycle or middle of the cycle, at some stage, we are going to see less and less than we've ever had before. And there's only one reason for that. It's just because there is going to be less and less available, right? Because if everybody decides to come and dump then almost 20 million coins, right? Almost close to 20 million coins. If they come and dump the 20 million coins, remember there's only 21 million in existence, right? Or will be in existence. If everyone comes and dumps them in an exchange today, that's a problem. Also, right now at 2.3, that's almost just over 10%. We have 10% of the entire, that's bad. That's bad. So people are saying, oh, we have the least amount of Bitcoin balance on exchange right now. Guys, that's bad. That's bad. Where we are, the price, and we got 10% on the market, that's bad. Because if these guys decide to sell, dump, or whatever, right, we're screwed. That 10% could take us down 50%. Do you know what I mean? That's how crazy it is. All right? So understand this, right? Understand this, because there are some things that we have to look at and take with a pinch of salt, obviously, but more importantly, not just go by all of them. Like for me, I've been looking at some of the markets. I said about fear and greed. Greed is currently at 94, right? It was at 98 a couple of days ago. It's at 94. It's okay. Yes, it's settled down a bit, but how accurate is the data? What are we basing on? Where's the data coming from? Are we pulling it from every single exchange? Are we pulling it from every single people? Right? I think Chaos trying to say something on Discord, but I'm not looking at the thing because if I pull it down, I risk messing up the stream, so I'm not going to pull it down. But I think there are a few bits and bobs he's saying, right? Let me see if I can actually pull it down. So crazy thing is bro, BTC alts are following exactly the same actual fact that 10% you can easy 4 or 5x between quarter 1 and 2. Okay, so he's saying something about BTC pumping, whatever. None of that matters. None of that matters, right? Right now, I don't care if some alts do a 10x right now. It doesn't matter. What matters is most of the alts, and I've gone about it on other videos as well, most of the altcoins that we have, right? And I'm going to go to my trading views for that as well, right? Because most of the alts that we have to, and this is no joke, they have to get to the previous all-time high. If they're not there, they risk dumping really, really hard. Oh, sorry. So Faisal said basically KR was talking to Faisal on Discord, not me. Okay, bro. So sorry, I got confused. I'm on a live. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's doing what, right? But anyway, there's a risk, right? The risk is, look, BTC is pumping, which is fine. The dominance is high, which is also fine. I'm not complaining too much about all of those things. Yes, we need to be absolutely cautious about what's really going on, because when BTC decides to go south for even a brief moment, right? Maybe settle down for a bit, the other coins are getting hit hard. They're getting hit hard, and they're nowhere near their all-time high. And that is something that I want to see. I want to see them back to their all-time high. I mean, Solana is doing its thing, so I'm proud of Solana, right? I'm proud of Solana, and I'm proud of all the guys who are on Solana. Really proud of them, because Solana is coming back, has already tested the 260, right? I'm proud of XRP. Why? Because XRP hasn't gone back to his all-time high, but there's a reason behind this. We can't pick on XRP because XRP's all-time high was in 2017. Solana wasn't around in 2017, so we can't compare the both. Do you know what I mean, right? So we're looking at the last near all-time high, right? So if we look at the last near all-time high, then compared to that, Solana is a hero because it's already testing his all-time high as an altcoin. Really proud of that. Sui, the most recent, technically Sui say they're recent. Sui is doing fantastic because it's now gone into a new price discovery, whatever. It's a fresh coin, so it's a good thing, right? Say hasn't performed that well. It's kind of shitty right now, but it has done in the past, and right now it's struggling to get back to his, I think, his launch price. It's not even his all-time high, it's his launch price. So anyway, let's see what happens there. So that's a struggle. And XRP at 140, I saw earlier. What is it now? Sorry, I can't see it on this chart. Let me move over to it. Sorry, I've got multiple charts open. Let me see it on this chart. 145. So currently XRP at 145. We talked about 198, right? And that is its nearest local high, basically. And that's where we want to get to. So it's doing its thing, right? And when you start looking at multiple other coins in the crypto sphere, what you realize is a lot of these things are moving towards that near previous high, right? Near previous high. But what's Ethereum doing? Fuck all. Excuse my language. Nothing. 330 yesterday. It managed to get to around 3,400, but back to 3,300 because it literally crapped its pants the moment BTC went to tested 99, got rejected, and went back to about, I think it was 97.8 or something like this, because it dipped just for a bit, right? Because it got rejected. What do you expect, right? Ethereum crapped its pants. What? What's wrong with what? Why are you panicking for? So this is what you have to understand, right? That just gives us a good indication that if BTC dips by 1% or 2%, and I've talked about it, the others will start panicking. So we're nowhere near there. So I'm not really looking at those, to be honest. Just answering the question you guys were talking. Yes, if it goes, great. I want to see that. In fact, on my total market, I did some lines the other day, yesterday actually. I did some lines after the stream. I did some lines here and there. And I've put new targets, right? So I have brand new, fresh targets, and I'm not going to give you those targets. But the point is for us to reach those targets, and it's mathematical. I've used a Fibonacci basically. So for us to get to that level, we need the alts to move. If the alts don't move, what's going to happen? BTC solo doing its thing? We don't want that. We don't want that. So I am seeing some alts coming. But they're not holding. There's a problem I'm seeing again, and I'm just being transparent with you guys. This is a problem I'm seeing. I see alts pumping 30, 40, 50%. Some of these coins are even doing 100% on a single day. But the following day, right? And this you got to understand. We do 100%, and then the following day they're doing a 50%. And you're gonna wonder, like, hold on, isn't that a good thing? Yes and no, right? Let's give you a good example. A coin that's worth $1 pumps 100%. That's $2. Pretty fine, right? But from that $2, it dumps 50%. Guess what? It's back to $1. Just do the maths. You'll understand what I mean. It's nowhere. That's the problem I'm seeing. You pump 100%, you dump 50%. Well, hold on, you're back to square one. What the hell? So what I'm seeing is there are people out there who are manipulating. That's the word I was going to use earlier on for the Bitcoin balance as well, but I'm not. But people are manipulating the market. Of course, they're profiting from it, and there's nothing wrong with it, right? One man's going to lose, another one's going to make it, right? So, but ultimately, these people are in control, and they're manipulating it. So as soon as they pump something 40, 50, 100%, right? They're dumping on the people. So they're taking the profit out, they're dumping on the people. And that's something that I advocate to you guys. When you see those kind of pumps, and as long as you're in profit, don't hang about. You dump on those people. I was going to swear, but dump on them. Do you know what I mean? You dump on them. Why are you waiting to be dumped on? You dump on them. So don't just look at your balances and say, oh my balance is doing great, because that's what you're looking at. Don't, right? Look at the percentage. Look at the percentage and say, do you know what? I'm up 20, I'm up 30, I'm up 40, I'm up 50, maybe I'm up 100%, whatever. Right, I'm going to dump before that guy dumps on me. Because I've seen it quite often, and there's a whole bunch of coins on Binance, especially, when you go Binance, you can see the most increase, right, or whatever. And I've seen it there, and I'm like, seriously, don't people realize what's going on? They're being pumped 100%. They go to whatever price, and then they dump 50%. Hold on, you're back to square one. When you go up 100 and come back down 50, that's the exact same number. Mathematically, it's the exact same number. It's the same number. The percentage works differently. Going up, 100% could mean whatever. Going down, half of that means 100%. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, guys, if you have any other questions or anything, please let me know. But I hope this is clear. That balance on exchanges, right? What you have to understand, balance on exchanges. Yes, it's an indicator, but it's not the main indicator, because there are other things out there. And maybe I've said a few things here that could open your mind up, that makes you think about it in a complete different light, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that's happening through the exchanges, completely undercover. This is not for retail investors. We're not even supposed to know about it, right? Some of the big institutions are holding their assets in their vaults or whatnot, right, through these exchanges, and they're buying it off the exchanges. They're buying it OTC. Again, doesn't help anything, right? Doesn't help the price. So if we had like the number of people or institutions that have been buying since the last couple of years that I know, right? If all of those guys bought it on chain, we would be sitting at a 500,000, maybe $600,000 BTC today. But they didn't do that because they don't want the price to pump, because they want what they want you to do. What they want to do is they want to buy cheap and let you pump the price. And they know this. They know this because you only need to buy a very small amount. Think about it. There's only 10% Bitcoin available on all of the exchanges. So think about this 10% as 100%. To pump the price, you only need 10%. That means you only need to pump 1% of the entire supply in the market, 1% of the entire supply in the market to pump the price for the entire thing. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening right now. Do you know what I mean? So just be cautious. That's all I'm going to say. But also keep in mind what the facts are for these numbers. Total market cap sitting at $3.23 trillion. Not too concerned. Nothing too interesting. Yes, they're creating new all-time highs. We're in price discovery mode, but again, most of that I'm seeing is coming from BTC. So am I fascinated? No. We were at 3.01 trillion, or just say $3 trillion back when BTC was 60 grand a coin, right? 2021, that's where we were. So hold on, 3.23 now with BTC sitting at $99,000, 30% more value, or 30 whatever percent more value. Come on, be real, right? Come on, be real. Well, that's like almost 40% actually. 99 is almost 40% more value increased in BTC, and we're sitting at 3.24 trillion. You having a laugh? If we were at 3 trillion, then we should be at 4 trillion right now. Just from BTC number, 4 trillion right now. Does that make sense, right? So these are the things that are quite concerning. Of course, I'm excited, right? A lot of people are like, oh yeah, you know, you're not excited. I'm freaking excited. I'm excited. The numbers are coming true. All the predictions, all the calls that we've done, right? Every kind of movement that we predicted, that okay, guys, this is going to be bearish, this is going to be bullish, right? Those things have turned out to come to us, you know, right, to a certain extent, right? I'm not going to say 100% right, but I'm highly excited, but at the same time, I'm being very, very cautious about some of the stuff I'm seeing, you know, and more importantly, I'm keeping myself off x.com, right? Definitely keeping myself off x.com because there are too many biased messages, one, but other messages are there more like a clickbait. Right? What I'm seeing is they come and they'll post something, so you're gonna, you know, get excited, but they don't give you the context. And I want you to understand the context, to understand the deep end of it. It's like, right, what does it all mean, right? So there's a message just come up. Let's see. Victor, I see Victor. Hello, my brother. Nice to see you. Victor says, brother, clearly you are not getting enough reviews. Why not try a vertical short stream? I can ensure you that we'll get 10, 20 times more viewers. You're right. Funny thing. Okay, here's the fun part, right? Now if we're going on this, right? This is hilarious, right? YouTube. So I've had this channel since 2020. I think it's November 2020. So we've hit like 4 years now, right? And YouTube has been bugging me to do shorts, YouTube shorts. So in the beginning, I experimented a little bit, but to be honest, I see there are channels out there who do only shorts. They're doing fantastic. They build a community very fast, right? But they're obviously working their back ends to do this kind of stuff. Because of the type of content that I do, funnily, vertical live, I've had a situation where YouTube has recommended that to me, to try vertical live. Yes, I could do that. I'm sure it's like a Facebook style, whatever. I could do that, which should be quite cool. But one thing I want to be completely transparent with, and I want you to understand, now I am, so 4 years down the line, now I want to grow the community. However, in the beginning, I was never ever intending to grow the community, and my videos were made for the few members of people that I have. But I feel that there's not enough people out there like myself who will tell you as it is to your face, right? Whether it's a live or a pre-recorded, they wouldn't tell you. There are too many creators, and I'm being honest here, right? And believe me, I watch these guys and I respect them for what they do, the effort they put in, the work they put in, the teams they hire, the amount of money they spend, right? I'm not joking. I respect those guys, right? Hats off to them. But what it is there's not many people out there who are going to do unfiltered content without a script. They're not going to do it. And that's when I see that, I'm like, well, guys, yes, entertainment's great, dopamine's great, we all want some, right? We sometimes we're down, we want to laugh, we need a bit of dopamine kick, right? We need some comedy or whatever, we need some entertainment, right? Absolutely. But I think there's space for some truth as well, right? And that puts me in a very unique position, and I become a very unique channel where this is probably the only channel where you're going to find something like this, where I'm literally talking to you about the situation. And I'll be completely honest with you, I'll effing blind, I don't really care. I don't care if YouTube bans me for it, because my videos are not made for kids, right? And I've noticed there are some channels out there who actually make things made for kids, right? It's hilarious because they want more views. I'm like, seriously? No, I want to be free. I'm not going to be locked down by YouTube, right? I'm not going to be locked down by all of the terms and conditions and whatnot, right? So if I've got something to say, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it the way I would normally say it. So this, you know, when you listen to me or you watch me, believe this or not, this is me, right? All my friends, family, and other associations, like other associates and people that I've met through YouTube and through Discord and whatnot, right? In life, basically, this is how I am. I'm not joking. This is exactly how I am. I literally talk to them. Faisal, right? Faisal has we've had a live stream. Not was a live stream. We had a meeting, right? We had a meeting, like a Google Meet, right? He can vouch, right? He can tell you. Was I any different when I had that meeting with you? We were having a confidential meeting, right? You know, confidential meeting. You've never met me in person. I've never met you in person, right? You met me through the YouTube, but we ended up having a nice little it was a Google Meet meeting, right? Was I any different? I was exactly the same, talking to you just how I talk right now. This is me. This is the real me. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I want to give to people. It's like, look, guys, you're not going to see two sides to me. I'm not going to be biased on one side or something on the other side. No, if I've got to say something, I'll say it just there like that. Do you know what I mean? And I'll do it on a live. I don't really care. You know, I am who I am. I've got nothing to hide. Victor says, what does script have to do with vertical, horizontal? You can be the same way on vertical stream. It's like you turning down more exposure for silly. No. You got the wrong end. What I was just explaining to you. Yes, I don't mind doing vertical. That's what I'm saying. I don't mind doing vertical. I was just explaining to you, Victor, that where like my journey, like how it started, what it was going to be. But now I want to grow the channel. So if vertical grows me more, I will definitely do vertical. Do you know what I mean? In fact, how about this? The next live stream I do is definitely going to be a vertical one, right? Because I have the option. YouTube, in fact, has, as I said, YouTube's telling me to do it, right? So, so Victor says, do one vertical stream for a couple of hours. If you don't change your mind, I will eat my hat. You don't have to eat your hat. I will do it. I will do it. Because you know what, to be honest, so as a YouTube creator, YouTube actually reaches out to me every now and then. So they have reached out to me. They're like, oh, you should do super thanks, super likes, and all of these active, right? So they're like, you should monetize your channel and whatnot, right? Because my channel wasn't monetized for a very long time. So they're like, you should monetize it, you should do this. In fact, I posted on Discord yesterday my total earnings for the last 4 years, my entire history of my earnings. And I haven't even hit the minimum threshold to withdraw, so they're not going to pay me until. That's how minuscule it is, because I'm not too fussed about it. But if I grow the channel, right, I feel that there's a space out there that people like me could also thrive, right? What I mean by thrive, I mean I could have more exposure, as you're saying, more exposure and get down there. So that means if I need to come on live more often, I will. Of course, I'm still doing it for the community, you know, but I'm going to do what I need to. My whole point is if YouTube becomes something for me that it can pay maybe one of my bills, I don't have a problem doing this on a schedule. But currently YouTube can't pay me, right? The amount of money I make elsewhere, YouTube is never, but put it this way, it's a million times more than what YouTube pays out, right? Or hasn't paid out yet, right? So I'm not focusing on that, hence why I don't give it that time. But I know if I do, then I can get it somewhere. So in the meantime, I'm trying to grow the channel. We're at 3,300 and something subscribers. And I feel that we can take this to around 10,000 people, right? I think this channel can go to 10,000 people. Because in the beginning, by the way, there was massive momentum in the beginning. So the channel was growing very fast, right? and I was on it like every day, if not every other day, and pretty much on kind of on a time, because there was this particular time when I used to leave home and go to, because I used to have a business and I used to drive to my business, and on the way to the drive I used to do, that used to fall within a particular timetable. Kind of I was on a schedule, but even though it was unintentional schedule, right? But I know that that kind of like when I stopped for a little, because I had some crazy issues, when I stopped for a bit, a lot of the viewers dropped out. They found other places. There's one or two people here who are always here, right? They're always here, but a lot of the other guys just left basically, and it's okay, right? What I have noticed is a lot of the subscribers who have gone to other channels, discovered other channels that they probably like, you know, they also come back. Now, if they're coming back, then I must be doing something right. Right? Because when I go live, I see some of the guys that used to be the most loyal, always every stream they were here. When I stopped streaming, they found other channels, but they actually came back. They're still on my streams, right? So when I see that, you know, for me, I'm like, you know what? At least they like this kind of content, hence why they're still here, right? They still come back. Whenever I come live, they're still here. So, you know, like Faisal, one of those guys, KR is one of those guys, right? In fact, KR is not one. KR is my first official outside of friend circle subscriber. That's KR. And I've never met him, by the way. I've never met him in person. I've never seen him. This is the truth. This guy's been around for 3-4 years now on this channel. He's on Discord. He's everywhere. And I answer a lot of questions. I mention his name on the videos, but I've actually never ever met him in person. How crazy is that, right? How crazy is that? Right. Chaos says, yes, brother, I'm in the gym listening to the Stairmaster. Well, who's the Stairmaster, bro? What are we talking about? I started a crypto channel 2 months ago. First month I did horizontal and had 140. I started doing vertical since 30 days ago, and now I have 3,000 subs and 6,200 watching every stream. Bro, that's nice. That's nice. I really appreciate that, Victor. And in fact, as I said, I promise the next one I'll do a vertical, right? If I don't do it for myself, I'll do it for you. But ultimately, if there's anything to be gained, it's going to be me. So it's a good thing, right? I do appreciate this. I always encourage my community members, look, if you have projects, if you have something like this, if we're on Discord, and I do that normally on Discord, I'm like, promote it, you know, help others grow. And you've come out here from the blue. I'm not sure if you are part of our Discord, and you've now suggested me to do something, and I feel that's a good thing. You're helping me. So I'm not going to just, you know, say no and ignore that. No, I will definitely take that on board, and I will definitely do that. Right. So I promised you my next one's going to be a vertical live. Right. My next one will be a vertical live. Let's see where we go from there. Right. So that should be quite interesting, because I have been thinking about it. I'm using YouTube app anyway to go live. So I have been thinking about it, but it just, you know, I'm just stuck to my old ways. But if you say so, and I feel there's going to be an opportunity, so definitely going to do it. Next one's going to be a vertical one. So definitely. But I do appreciate your suggestion, and you reaching out to me to help me. I do appreciate that. Faisal says, I think he means he's watching you, Sham, whilst he's working out at the Stairmaster. Okay, probably, bro. I don't know. I don't do gym, bro. I don't do gym. Victor says, 1 month from now, you will remember me when you double your subs count. Of course, my brother. I don't want to just remember you. I want you to be there as well. I want to celebrate it with you. How about this? 30 days from now, let's just say, just for the sake of it, I don't know what the date is today. I think it's 22 or 23, 25th, I think today. But yeah, let's just say January, right? Or like, you know, Christmas. Like, I think 1 month from now would be Christmas. We want to celebrate together. Why not? Let's celebrate this together. Let's say, right, we've got 3,300 subscribers now. And all of a sudden we have 6,600 subscribers. We have double the number of subscribers. We're going to celebrate together. Why not? Right? Because as I said, I really want to grow the channel now. Do you know what I mean? Because that was, and by the way, just for complete transparency, my name is Sham. This is 0x Files. But one thing I always say, the truth is always out there. And what I mean by that, I have actually promised my viewers and my most loyal members on Discord, right, that because I saw how active they are, I said, you know what, this makes me proud. I'm so happy. And because of that, I want to be now more active as well. I made a promise to them, hence why I'm a lot more active, right? But saying that, I wasn't intending to go for that long. I just saw the time. It's about 6:30. I actually really need to leave around 6:30. I've got to be somewhere. So funny thing is, I got off the. So we have. I don't know if you're in the UK or elsewhere, but we have a kind of a dual carriageway, like outer circle of London, called the A406 North Circular. So I was on the South Circular, and now I've met on the North Circular. And on the North Circular, there's a bit of traffic, roadwork, whatever. I've actually got off just for that, but I'm going to jump back on because I've got to go up east now. Right? So I came from south, I'm in north, I got to go east now. So it's going to be a long drive. So other than that, listen, guys, I'm not going to make this any longer. Victor, I do appreciate all your help. Faisal, thank you very much for coming to the show. KR and everybody else that came to the show. And I know Bubble and everybody else is going to see it later, which is absolutely fine. Victor says he'll be watching. Definitely. Thank you, my brother. If you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate a subscribe from you as well. And also share your channel. If you're doing a crypto content, share your channel. I always welcome. Put it on the chat or something, or if you're on our Discord, share it on our Discord. Doesn't matter. All my links is down there, like buy me a coffee link. That actually has all my links, and you will find Discord there as well. Share your channel. You never know. Some of my viewers may want to go there and watch you. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing great content, why not? I'll subscribe to you. So end of the day, I encourage people of the community to come together and grow together, right? That's the most important thing we can do for each other, right? What's a simple like and a subscribe going to cost me? Nothing. Do you know what I mean? But I might end up getting a lot of value from you. There may be stuff there that I'm not looking at and you might be looking at it. You know what I mean? My viewers here might see something that is in your one, which is beneficial to them. Why not? You might be doing projects and drops and this and that. Why not? So as long as it helps, of course, the only thing I'm against is scammy stuff. So as long as there's no scam, clearly you're not, right? So as long as there's no scam stuff and this and that, it's all good. Because I don't want any of the community members to get harmed. Other than that, enjoy, grow, be rich, right? Be rich, do whatever you need to do, because that's the most important thing. So other than that, guys, I appreciate all of you guys coming here. Again, my name is Sham. This is your X-Files. The truth is always out there. And I always try to be as transparent as possible. And whenever I'm doing something, I'm doing it with the complete honest heart, right? So here we are today. BTC at $99,000. Are we going to break through and go and touch the 103 that I've targeted? I think we are at some stage. Not too concerned about it. We are still seeing some room. However, I want to observe this until Sunday, because some things could happen during the weekend, right? Because of the way the market's looking, especially if you look at the 3-day stochastic RSI and RSI, we are quite overbought. On the daily, I made a mistake. I thought we were oversold yesterday. I assumed that, but unfortunately my chart was so zoomed in, I didn't really see it. We're actually in the middle of the RSI, but we have done a reversal, and technically we are still okay. So it wasn't a bad thing, but it's just that because of the way I was set up, I didn't see that. So I wanted to correct that. But on the 3-day, we are definitely overbought. Hence why I'm thinking that we might see a little bit of a pullback. I'm hoping not. But the pullback on BTC, believe me, doesn't bother me. If BTC pulls back to even 85, 86, 87, 90K, really doesn't bother me. Believe it or not, it doesn't bother me. What bothers me is what's going to happen to the alts, right? So I need to have a strategy and protect myself with the alts, because that BTC drops 9K, right? If it goes to 90K, 9K for just, you know, if it happens, the others will bleed out completely. That's the problem. So that's all I want you guys to do, is just be cautious and play it safe, right? Play it safe. And remember, stop losses are your best friend, right? Stop losses are your best friend, just in case, right? I'm not saying it's a probability or it's a highly likely. Well, kind of it is if it's saying it on the 3-day, you know what I mean, right? It's kind of likely, and that 3-day completes tomorrow, right? So it's overbought for the past 3 days. We might see a correction, we might not. Do you know what I mean? And I've kind of talked about it briefly on last week's video as well. So let's hope nothing bad happens. But other than that, are we still looking to move up? Yes, we are. Do we still have time in the market? Yes, we do. I know Faisal earlier on, I think you mentioned something about you believe we have another 10 months. Great if we do. But I'm going to take baby steps. For me, I'm going to take a day at a time, a week at a time. And on the worst case scenario or the best case scenario, I'm going to take a month at a time. I am not feeling that optimistic, right? Especially with the alts, right? Believe me, if the alts were catching up, that's a different story. But with where the alts are and how they end up suffering, I'm going to take a day at a time. Right. So 10 months down the line, if we're still moving up, great, right? Great. I'm proud of you. But I want to play it cautious. I want to be very, very cautious because just in case, right? That's the worst thing. So other than that, guys, thank you very much for showing up to the show. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you guys on another one. In fact, remember everybody, the next video live stream we do, right? Whenever we do it, is going to be a vertical live stream, right? And this is going to be dedicated to Victor, and of course, beneficiary is going to be 0x5. So other than that, I'm going to see you guys on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos.